And we're on.
And we are on.
You said action or something.
Oh, action. You don't say action, by the way. You just go 3, 2.
Well, you didn't do that either. You didn't do that
I tell you what, people, welcome to the Marvelous Duo. I am the guest, but you have Lady Poole here. You have Captain Drew. Best freaking comic book, movie, Marvel information, literally on the planet Earth and probably some other solar systems that we don't know.
The multiverse.
The multiverse.
We know. We know.
Right.
The multiverse.
Just talk to the Watcher.
Yeah.
Talk to the Watcher. He knows everything.
Yeah, he I am Philip. We are so happy that you're here. We're going to kick this off. I let the bosses sit there and start this off.
Start this off.
That was old to me. That
Just
was
once.
old to me.
Just once I want to push the button. Just once.
No, I get to push the button.
You know what, Drew? There's a reason why we can't push the button because I mean we'd be like,
yeah, y'all keep pushing it. Y'all ain't got no self-control. Exactly what I mean. I will delete it.
No, you won't, because that costs too much money.
Yeah, I still had the file. You don't.
Who says I ain't copy it over?
How did you copy it?
Anyway, we're going to start with the show. Come on, boss lady.
Can't give you my secrets.
All right. Well, hello, Marvelous Duo fans. As you know, it is Saturday night. And you know what happens every Saturday night at 8 o'clock?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
We go over. I literally can't. We go over What If episodes. And tonight is episode 5 of What If.
Uno, dos, tres, perfecto.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Certain people did not like this episode.
Didn't like it. You know what it is? It's not the episode. I gotta think about zombies. I don't like zombies.
Why don't you like? What did zombies ever do to you?
I
don't know. They creep me out.
Well, yes, that's what zombies are supposed to do.
They do it very well.
Right. I thought this episode was way better than the Doctor Strange because Doctor Strange.
The Doctor Strange one was just kind of sad, to be completely honest.
Because you can't believe somebody's going to be that stupid holding all that power.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. Now, for a zombies show, this one was pretty decent, and the story was pretty good. And it you know what really helps is that these real people voices are being used, so you really see them being used into it. I agree with you on the Doctor Strange story. I don't think it was
the chat.
The Doctor Strange one was just kind of like
that kind of stings you a little.
Yeah. It was just kind of sad, and
it was, but I think
it was really sad.
It was because we know Doctor Strange, he wasn't that much into Christine until later, versus this guy who's into her now. And you wanted that to happen, but it didn't happen in the movie. So you're like, oh well, too sad, too bad. But now you're like, oh my god.
Okay, now this one, the recent one that just came up.
Yes.
What surprised either one of you
about the zombie one?
About this one, about the zombie ones. Which one got you?
What do you mean?
Which one
guy? No. Which one goes, wow, didn't see that one coming? Or
when Banner got bit. When Banner got bit.
But he didn't get bit.
I know, but when he said he's going to sacrifice himself, that's when I was like, oh, that's not good, because he's the one that have to figure out how this works and figure all this mess out. But when he gave himself up for them to get out, that one was like, oh. And then Janet Van Dyne doing her thing, and
see, mine was hope.
You notice one thing? This is the second episode that what's his face? Hope's father. What's his name?
Yeah, this is the second episode he's in, but it's a different universe. It's a different universe.
The second one where he screwed everybody up.
Oh, you talking about?
But he didn't. But he didn't. He didn't screw them up though. Hope screwed them up in this one.
No. He got bit first and then went
right. But like she said, if I didn't want my mother so bad, he wouldn't have went to go get her or find her.
Pressured him.
Oh, so it's another Van Dyne that causes mess?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, this episode was I'll tell you this, I didn't expect to see Spider-Man.
I didn't either.
I didn't expect to see him in this one.
And not if you see him developing into a superhero, you see that? You saw him?
Yeah. Because he said he turned down Tony's offer to be an Avenger. So in this universe, he didn't become part of the Avengers.
Well, he technically didn't.
Well, he turned it down the last time.
Yeah, but he wasn't in our universe.
Yes, he did.
No, he turned it down in our universe.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
He did.
Remember, what was it? The first one with Tom Holland?
Yeah, at the end of it, he offered him. He said, "No."
Turned it down.
Because they had him. Is a test? He kept asking, "Is this a test?" He kept asking him. And he said, "Yeah, just a test." And he left. And then Happy goes, "Well," and then what's the face comes out and goes, "Where's the kid?" They got a room for reporters.
Right. Because he had that new suit, and he was like,
he didn't turn him down. I don't think Tony wanted him. He was a kid.
He was gonna offer him that. He was gonna bring him in.
Yeah, he was gonna offer him then in the event, and then he turned him down.
Bunch of reporters waiting on the inside for him.
You're right.
I'm gonna rewatch it. I don't think he turned him down. I think
he definitely turned him down.
Yeah. But
I think Tony,
if he didn't in this universe, if he didn't, he'd have been eaten on the bridge with the rest of them. So
yeah, that. You know what? The other one that got me was when the Avengers came in, quote unquote, for the zombies, and Hank Pym bit Cap. I was like, "Oh man, you gotta be."
He was like nibbling on his neck. I was like, "What the hell?"
Mm-hmm. Vision, gotta admit, Vision. Oh, you know what? You forgot to put spoilers up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got talking with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Don't blame us.
I did. I just got talking with you people. You people are so energetic and so the conversation.
I can go with that. The
conversation is so intense.
I want to say hi to the boss lady and hope she has safe travels.
She's still driving.
Yeah, Miss Williams. So have.
I think she's in
Texas.
Last I talked to her, she was getting into Missouri. No, they were leaving Missouri because they drove up to go across.
Yeah, because Texas is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, so you don't want to go through Texas. So she drove up that, and where they're moving to is more northern California anyway. So
safe travels to boss lady, so but anyway, with the Captain America situation, Ant-Man was funny in his head in the glass helmet. Vision surprised me.
I thought so. It was funny because I watched it twice and I stopped it at when I watched it the first time. I stopped it right when they found Vision and they found T'Challa, and I was like, "Oh God, Vision's evil." But he didn't really go evil.
No, he just cut up my king.
He cut his leg off.
So how did T'Challa not turn if he had?
Because
he didn't get bit. He cut his leg off. He cut the leg off and gave it to Wanda.
Right.
It's if you get bit is where you start to turn.
Right.
But he
eventually it spreads. So he cut off the leg, gave her the leg fresh, and she was chomping on it.
But wait, Moss brings up a good point though. Wait. But because he wanted to keep her alive.
He loves Wanda.
But he also didn't want to kill T'Challa. Because obviously everybody else he's killed. He hasn't cared. But he's kept T'Challa alive. But yay. Okay, so Moss, because you brought it up and then now she said something. Here's my question though, because if you get bit, obviously we learn with Hope, you start to turn. Or if you get and she didn't even get bit, she just had a cut, and then my question is though, Lang got attacked. How the hell did he survive?
Vision saved him.
Okay, somehow, but he got attacked.
But here's the thing that I'm thinking. I think Vision fed him to Wanda and always left with his head. I think that's what happened to him.
Oh, wow.
Okay, but again, when Hank came back, he attacked him.
Right.
Where did Vision come from during all of that? Because she left him to die. Basically.
You know what? Yeah.
That part doesn't add up.
Has a point. Because
he just showed up.
It was
just Hope.
It's a
cartoon. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was just Hope.
Right, but then how did Hope, like, obviously Hope flew out, but how did Hope missing Vision? Like, there's all this.
Vision cured. Oh, okay. That makes, that's what the whole cure is about.
Hold on for a sec. Boss lady, you better be careful sitting there driving.
She might be stopped because they stopped earlier. She might still be stopped.
Okay. I just want her to be.
I'm sure she is. I know she's not going to be texting like that and driving.
I need you to be safe so you can fire me later.
Wow. Why do you keep asking to be fired?
Yeah, I don't ask. She just does it on her own.
Because they figured out that the apocalypse was more of a cerebral thing. Is that what it was? It
was more of a mind thing than it was like an actual. Right. I don't know. It was weird. It kind of gave me, even though I hate the show, and I know Brian's gonna put his 2 cents in when I say it. It reminded me of Walking Dead.
I think I was supposed to.
I'm definitely driving. Speak texting.
Oh my God, this woman.
Hey, you better not. My goddaughter's in that car, ma'am.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Be careful.
I think it's not pretty.
You know, Boss Lady was right. I did forget about one of the Infinity Stones, and I guess the only thing that was left was his head. Vision tripping off Wanda. That's a no one. But then, oh, okay. And then, yeah. So Vision was tripping off Wanda. And then he takes the Mind Stone out. What he throw it to Spider-Man or something like that? Almost,
Well, here's a question I want to ask you. If he cured Scott, why couldn't he cure Wanda?
But he said why he couldn't. She was too strong. Every time he tried, her powers out trumped the cure. It would
right.
Her powers came from the stone, because in the stone, 80s song in there. But
now, is Wanda a mutant or she's just?
Wanda is a Nexus being.
She wasn't even created. It just gave her abilities.
It chose her, right?
Yeah.
She bonded.
That she can actually take out, quote unquote, the Phoenix Force.
That's what they were saying.
So apparently the stone chose her, and then the stone brought her the powers and that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I overall, I thought that was better than the Doctor Strange. It was, to me, it was almost as sad. Because when the soldier died, happy. I was like, come on, we're happy with Peter. Boom.
But here's the thing though. Did Winter Soldier actually die? Because all she did was throw him. And he has the super soldier serum in him, so he could take a fall.
And he had the shield.
Yeah, so it's like, is he really dead?
Nah, you know what? Yeah. Oh yeah, with an Infinity Ring. You two better not show your freaking glow. Don't.
Huh? You mean this glove?
You shouldn't have said anything. Why'd you say anything? We wouldn't have even done it, but you had to say something.
She's right.
You put my drink in it.
I'm gonna buy mine, and that's when y'all gonna want. No, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
What did you say? I couldn't hear you over my glove shining so brightly.
Thank you, sis. I hate both of you so bad right now.
I know. It's just love. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Each other.
Anyway, with Thanos, he's already crazy as all get out. So now that he's a zombie,
I didn't buy that. I think they just threw that in there. I didn't buy that.
They threw it in there, Drew. But he's a zombie now with four Infinity Stones.
Yeah, because he was missing one. He was missing the Mind Stone.
Right. So he's a zombie now.
How does
that work?
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't think so.
But obviously, they weren't like brain dead zombies. They were still smart enough to know to go to a fight. Like Iron Man showing up, Wong showing up, Doctor Strange showing up. Like they showed up to
you
fight.
know what? That was also throws me off too because he was the smartest zombies I've.
Well, remember they smelled or smelled the blood or something like that.
They smell flesh.
Yeah, but they know how to like.
They know how to use their powers. Yeah,
they know how to use their powers. Right.
Look at Doctor Strange, and he was a zombie, and all of them like that.
Wong was using his enchantments.
Right.
Like they were smart enough to still do that. It wasn't like they were just like.
This is why I hate zombie movies.
Believe when somebody come to conquer your planet and then you start getting eaten.
Like they come out of here. It's like you will die. And then like,
get off me! I didn't like that.
So,
the only thing I didn't like about the episode is like, okay, well, what happened next? Like you always want to know what happens next?
Well, yeah, because they did the whole Thanos with the Infinity Glove, and then you're like, whoa. So hopefully the one coming up Wednesday does at least cover that, or they bring it, or are they trying to bring it all together?
That's just one universe that's gone. Another one is gone.
Yeah.
That's two universes in 1 week that gone.
Yeah. I agree. I definitely agree with that one. But overall, I did like it. Overall,
I liked it. I did like it better than the Doctor Strange episode.
Yeah, so did I.
The Doctor Strange one was just about love. He loved her so much.
Hey, you were stupid, Drew. Once you stand somebody up and they still die, once the building blows up, you should know right there and then you're looking good. She is going to go.
You are a sap, by the way.
It's a love story. It's just that I really liked her in the movie.
I like love stories that aren't stupid. That was stupid. At some point, you got to give it up. You got to give up the ghost.
You got to give it up, Drew. Just stop it. It's enough.
Anyway.
Just stop doing it. It's all about love. Love. I just love everybody. I loved her. She was a great actress. And it was the best episode ever made. Like everything outtrumps this episode.
Are you finished?
Yes, I'm finished. You can continue now.
Okay. Hey, you want to go for a Shang-Chi? That's a demented love story.
I guess so. That wasn't bad. It was a great movie, actually. It was pretty.
We're not going into Shang-Chi yet, people.
Sorry.
Sorry, boss.
About this. Why,
I still got my spoiler up. I can't do it.
One ear and out the other.
Huh? What's pay attention to you? What? Okay, can you show us the trailer for next week's?
I hate you. Yes, people. So this is a mid-season trailer because we are mid-season with What If. So this is the mid-season trailer that has been released.
Even in the darkest of times, humans will give all to save their planet.
The war ended.
Can't spare a little time for dear old Dad?
Even if it might bring an end to the universe.
Reality is not a straight line. Every passing moment is a chance for a new offshoot, a new variation. An infinite number of what-ifs.
It cannot be. Slow down a little bit. There's a few people in the room that don't understand.
We're in.
Who are you?
It appears we have a common enemy.
I guess I have to freestyle then.
Do we know each other?
If time and reality are a construct, what if we could rebuild it? What if? if. Only on Disney Plus.
I am intrigued with the Killmonger one.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that one. I'm excited for that one because it seems like
oh Lord,
that was the trailer that was there. That was the trailer that they had on Disney Plus on the Disney Plus website on their.
Somebody got called out in public.
That's what they had on there. I don't know if they just did that to throw people off on purpose, or what.
I don't know
that was what was on their Facebook.
It looks like a culmination of all the stories found in the one.
I mean, it's a culmination, but the Killmonger one,
this mid-season one, it has more of. It looks like what's coming next. They did have the Thanos from this episode that just passed, and then the Doctor Strange, but that was as far back as they went. Everything else is
because now
we haven't seen
yet.
Yet.
Right, it looks like Doctor Strange is working with
Captain,
and T'Challa and all the stuff,
and then it looks like Gamora. It looks like they're all together. They're Gamora, Thor, like they're all together. So
I think it's a culmination, or maybe the last
Thor too, because I'm like, well, what? It looks like his didn't change much.
Yeah. Well, again, we haven't heard Thor talk yet. Remember, we haven't had an interaction with Thor where he's talking. So that scene we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, he kind of died the last time he showed up.
Right, he just died right away. That was, you saw him fight, and then he died, and that was it. So this one definitely has. It looks like more scenes with Killmonger and Wakanda, and I guess trying to see what his role is there because T'Challa is obviously Star-Lord.
Okay, so.
But T'Challa did go home to Wakanda, so he technically could still be Wakanda.
Shuri looks really young.
I didn't see her in that.
Shuri looks like a kid. Yeah, there's a scene where she goes, "We have a common enemy," and that's who she and Killmonger's talking to her. But she looks like a kid. She doesn't even look like a teenager. She looks like a kid.
Right.
Bye.
Get here safe. We love you too, boss lady.
Please be careful.
Please.
But yeah, so there you go. Here you go, Drew.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Doesn't it look like
nasty? Yeah.
Yeah.
Some serious acne there. What the hell?
Oh, wow.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh wait, look! I got a better one. You'll like this one. Where'd it go?
Got my girl Peggy on it. There it is.
Wow.
There she go.
I'm actually interested in the one I like the one with Gamora. I wonder what they're gonna do with Gamora.
Well, look here. Look, no, wait. Show this back again. Look, all these people in it. There's Steve in the back. There's him.
Black Widow.
And then there's Thor.
Oh yeah, there's also a scene. There's also a scene in the trailer where it looks it looks like the Watcher does something. You see him in the middle of it. Yeah, he gets in the middle of it. So
he's
great. Well, the Watcher's pissed off at humans ever since the Nick Fury thing tore out his eye thing in the comics. So he still might be a little sore now.
Why would the Watcher be upset about that?
He tore out his eye.
Killed him too. He's a little sore.
Wait, Nick Fury took out the Watcher's eye?
Yes.
Killed him.
Kind of upset about it.
Yeah, he a little upset.
Mm-hmm.
Then he killed him, found the weapons of the Watcher, killed the Watcher with his own weapon, and then took the Watcher's eye. I said, that's not going to go well.
That sounds a little bit messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Only a tiny bit.
Got his revenge and all this good stuff, but he's still a little froggy.
A little.
He's still a little bit perturbed.
No, he's not supposed to interfere, but he's interfered a number of times.
Yeah.
Before, so
he's helped the Fantastic Four plenty of times.
So anything, Uatu is going to be in the middle of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, there's always that. Well, before we jump into the all awaited Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings, I think Captain over here has some news.
Which one? All right.
Which one we going into first? We're doing this one?
Yeah, we'll do that one first. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the reason why myself and Mr. Mars collect comic books is right here. This is the Amazing Fantasy, which is the first appearance ever of Spider-Man. It was in Mars, correct me if I'm wrong, 1963?
1963.
All right, and this is in number 15. Obviously, it's only $4. Back then, that was a lot of money, of course. Well, the first comic appearance of Spider-Man sells for a record price. The original comic book for Spider-Man just sold, let me see, at an auction, Heritage Auctions, for $3.6 million.
Ooh.
Let me say that again.
That's
$3.6 million.
First issues of Superman and Batman.
Yep, because this is probably in a better condition. They don't tell me what the condition is here, but it's probably in a better condition if it's sold for that much. And of course, that book was CGC'd by CGC. $3.6 million. So sometimes it's worth buying that comic book. So keep looking for it because you never know. Let's see. Actually, that issue, which was the final one for Amazing Fantasy, sold out. And it was so popular that that's how Peter Parker got his own comic book the following year, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. The next thing I wanted to show about is our pal, Mr. Bond, James Bond. James Bond is going to give Venom a run for his money. And the reason being is that James Bond movie will be 163 minutes long. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just about 45 minutes short of 3 hours. So this movie, which is going to come out at the same time that Venom is, which I believe is October 7th. It's going on sale starting next week, September 17th. So the first show should be October 7th, which is Thursday at 4 o'clock. And again, 163 minutes. And that's a long time for the last James Bond for that particular character.
Well, yeah.
And that trailer looked good.
Like James Bond?
I like this guy that plays James Bond.
I did. This first one, Casino Royale, was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
I like this guy.
And I didn't see the last one only because I didn't see the last one. But when he first came out with Casino Royale, that was really good.
I think we watched it. I'm not 100% sure. I know we've watched a couple of them, but I like this guy that plays James Bond. I like him.
Yeah, Daniel Craig is pretty different. Again, I'm still pushing for oh god, what's the guy's name? The guy from
Henry Cavill.
If the guy from Bridgerton doesn't get it, yes, Henry Cavill. The thing about
it is, if it's not Henry Cavill, then it needs to be Idris, and then if it's not Idris, then it don't need to be nobody.
But it could be the guy from Bridgerton. The problem is that DC is kind of screwing around Henry Cavill, and the rest of them, believe it or not, so he's not gonna wait around, man. He's got bills to pay.
Hold on for a second. Speaking of Henry Cavill,
yes,
the Justice League movie that is on TNT right now, the one they put out in theaters. I can't even watch that one now. After I don't watch the Snyder.
No one wants to watch that one.
I'm sorry. There was a movie other than the Snyder's movie.
There was another movie besides the Snyder's cut.
I can't even watch that one. I was like, and I love DC. I love the Justice League. So I'm saying that was like, I want.
Listen to me, and hear me now, fans, and hear me now, my friends. I will never again watch that garbage.
It's garbage
all the way. I'm sorry,
I
can't.
Garbage. They should have came out with the Snyder cut. They should put it in 2 movies like with Infinity War and all that good stuff, Endgame. Because that Jeff Whedon hot mess.
Hot garbage.
Yeah.
Just like Garbage America.
Let me tell you something. That was still a good show.
They're both hot garbage.
When he came out and he killed that dude, I was like, oh.
Dre's the same way. She couldn't even watch the Falcon and Winter Soldier. She couldn't even watch it no more.
Hey man, that was nasty. That was definitely nasty. I give her that. And my final story, which plays upon a story we talked about last week. Disney's remaining movies for 2021 will premiere exclusively in theaters up to about 45 days, after which they will be dropped onto Disney Plus for everyone else to see. So basically, you have about a month and 15 days to see it in the theater, and after that, they're going to yank it out and throw it on their own TV.
Okay, so then what happens Can we talk about what happens with?
I was told we couldn't talk about what happens to what happened about that.
Okay, so then
I'm not saying she wasn't wrong, but I'm just saying.
I'm saying it's a little greedy.
I'm
See,
saying
Boss is on my side.
A contract is a
I
contract.
think it's
But
a
you keep
greedy.
saying a contract is a contract. She's not abiding by her contract.
She's
A
not.
contract is a contract. They were supposed to pay her by the theater gross, and they turned
She got
around.
paid for her theater gross.
They turned around, yes, but they also turned around and released it online, and then that just made
Got paid for that too.
who's gonna go to the theater if you
True.
watch it?
It's-
Let me put it this
it's
way. Let me put it this way. Where'd you see it?
Who, me?
Where'd you see it?
I saw it on Disney Plus.
Where'd you see it? I'm sorry, what?
You paid for it on Disney Plus, so don't put that on me.
I understand that. That's my point. She doesn't get that money. Enough said. And if this were Rodney, RDJ, or Chris Evans, this wouldn't have happened.
She was paid upfront $10 million.
She got paid for Disney Plus. Why is no one acknowledging this?
But that's not what you got to renew the contract. You can't just go and give her some change and figure, I'll just throw the water on it and I'll be done with it.
But that's the thing. She was paid for Disney Plus. That's
Contract. That
paid
wasn't the
into
contract.
the millions of dollars. And then they came out and said she wanted $100 million. RDJ didn't get $100 million shot.
RDJ got more than $100 million.
Okay, but that was
no. Hold on. RDJ got $100 million for his first Iron Man movie, and then after that,
not the first one.
Yes,
Not the first
sorry,
one.
he got 50.
Not the
Sorry,
first
he got 50 million. He got 50
I didn't
million
know
for
that
his
much.
first red. He did. I was reading the thing earlier.
thought it was-
He
I
got
think it was
50
like
million
20.
for his first Iron Man movie. After that, he would no longer take that cut because he wanted all of them on set to get paid equally. So he never got paid that much anymore after that. You can make all the faces you want. RDJ has come out and said that he wanted everyone that was on a movie with him to get paid equally. And the same thing happened when Bautista came in for Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm not saying it wasn't, but first of all,
she
Batista
wanted
ain't got RDJ
$100
money.
million up.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day,
why are you blaming her for that? So what? I want $100 million.
I want $20 million. She got $20 million.
I'd be happy with
stressed for
$5
$20 million.
What's the
Look
point?
here, I'd be happy with $1, but you stressing over
amen.
$100 million, and Disney Plus didn't even make $100 million when they recorded it.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know what she really asked for. No one can say, but
Well, that's what they're saying. She asked
they
flat out.
She asked for more money, and they already gave her $20 million for Disney Plus.
They can argue and say that, but the lawsuit isn't about wanting more money. The lawsuit is about she didn't follow the contract, and that's what they should have did.
But what?
That's what
Okay,
they should have did.
I think she knew about it.
She had to
I
know
don't think
about
she did.
She did know about it.
Why would you sign a contract? Yes.
Come on.
Yes. Hold on. This is the last word, and we'll skip it because we can be here all night. The point is that was not in her contract. I understand what you're saying. Money's money, but that was not in her contract. And anytime you take the money out of what you were going to pay her and put it somewhere else, because then you don't have to pay her, that's the issue. That money should have been in the theaters, not on TV, where that's not what the contract was supposed to.
A Marvelous Duo, please put your entry in and tell us what you think. I think Lily and myself are right. Do not pay attention to Drew because Captain America's on the moon with the Watcher.
But you know what's the funny? You know the funny part. You know the funny part about this? In the product meeting, she said, "Let's not talk about this." And where are we talking about this? Okay, I'm done with my news.
This is why I want to bring it up. But anyway,
go
on to what everybody was waiting for. Or I hope everybody was waiting for.
What are we waiting for? Tell us what we're waiting for. I don't got any music for this, so hold
on, do the Marvelous Duo thing though. Right after that,
it doesn't have the Shang-Chi thing in it.
I'm sorry.
Yes, but still do the Marvelous Duo.
Oh my God! No, it doesn't work that way. It's not how that works. Not how that works.
That's not how it works.
Not how that works. Not how that works. Anyway,
we'll be here all day. Next,
we are going to discuss Shang, Chi.
The man with the machete, I'm just cut off our boss.
Oh my God!
Let me tell you something. What's that lady's the comedian?
Aquafina?
Yeah, Aquafina. Aquafina. Hold up, Aquafina. No, her name is not Aquafina.
Yes, it is.
It is?
Yes. And I don't have a picture of her.
You talking about this one? You talking about her?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
Aquafina.
Yes.
Her name's Aquafina.
She was hilarious in this movie.
I liked her. She was good.
Her role is us. She is
the best friend, but she's his best friend. Yeah.
But if you ever noticed, whenever they explain something, they were explaining it to her so that we, the Joe Schmo, can understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I love her line. The guy with the machete arm just chopped up our butts. I loved it. I loved it. I laughed at that one. That was hilarious.
But
spoilers.
Spoilers, Drew.
Oh, fine.
Now I'm gonna let the two of you drive this one. But before we get into the whole thing, and Mosh, I'm sure you know this, let's kind of explain to people comic side and MCU side with the 10 rings. Me and Drew were talking about this earlier. Because in the comics, he has physical rings on his finger.
Right.
Versus in this movie, he has their I'm calling them bracelets. They're bracelets.
Now Shang-Chi came out in the early, mid 70s, and he is considered the best martial artist in the MCU, period. I mean, past Cap, because he's what people don't understand. Shang-Chi has taught Captain America, Wolverine, Iron Fist. I mean, he's beating the crap out of Thor, literally all the X-Men. He is just a bad man, and he has no power. Shut your mouth.
But does his power not come from the rings?
No, not exactly. He is just a bad man. His power literally comes from his chi. And yes, the rings help, but he can defeat literally any superhero in the Marvel universe literally by himself.
Are you telling me he doesn't?
I thought he didn't have the rings. I thought the Mandarin had the rings.
Yeah, the Mandarin has the rings now, but back in time. But as of right now in the comic, he doesn't have the rings. But he can literally beat your butt. Seriously. He has literally taken out all the Avengers, all the X-Men, beaten God. I mean, he is a bad man.
Now in the comic books, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy in the comic books? He's a good guy. Okay.
Well, he's a slightly bad right now.
Is he like anti-hero?
Now, a little bit now he is. A little bit anti-hero now.
I think that's just to propel his story. But he's like an anti-hero in Marvel would be like Prince Namor of Atlantis. That's an anti-hero.
Wolverine, Deadpool.
Yeah. Even Morbius, that kind of thing. So
okay.
He is like the other guy, Iron Fist, which everyone might be a little more familiar with. Can't hold him to a candle.
Can't hold a candle to him.
Right.
He has whipped. Shang-Chi has beaten every Marvel superhero, period.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, they're kind of linked in the comics, aren't they? Iron Fist and him. So it's very likely that that you might see them team up somehow. I mean, I don't know how. I mean,
they have teamed up. I mean, decades ago.
Yeah, Iron Fist didn't do very well on Netflix, but I don't know if they plan on bringing him back at all.
It was putrid.
The second season wasn't bad. The second season was a lot better. They got rid of the showrunner from the first one, and they made a new one.
Okay, fans, let me explain something to you. As you can see, I love superheroes. When I watched Iron Fist on Netflix, the first show I was asleep. I said, you know what? I must have been tired. So I tried it a second time, went to sleep. So I said, okay, it's got to be better than this. So then me and my wife, she's like, hey, I heard about Iron Fist, blah, blah, blah. So we both watched it and we both went to sleep. So that was my whole experience with that.
Yeah, I wasn't too keen with that. I watched
so you're basically saying you didn't finish it.
But the second season was
At
better
all.
than the first season.
I couldn't even get past the first show without being asleep.
Yeah, the second season was better, but the Defenders, as a series was a lot better than
He was better. See, there's certain superheroes that need to be paired with somebody like
Yes.
Daredevil, Iron Fist, all that.
He can't be by himself. He can't be by himself.
Right.
Okay.
Like Shang-Chi. Now, Shang-Chi in this movie, the 10 Rings, it was awesome. It starts explaining it from his history from beginning to end. Number one, I don't know how the 10 Rings kept his father kind of young. I don't know why his mother would have given up all that immortality, but hey, whatever.
That's the thing. And I mean, I guess
I would have gone with the mother. I wouldn't have stayed there. But apparently, they didn't kick her out.
She left because they didn't want him in because of his past.
Well, then he had to go.
I don't see a problem here.
Me either.
Bye-bye.
Right. They over there fighting. They fight. I've never seen somebody fighting and flirting, beating the crap out of each other, fighting and flirting at the same time.
For love.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah. Who does that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, he old now. He's about 2 centuries old.
Yeah. So to start the story off, it starts off with the history of. It was funny because when we were sitting in the theater, of the father. When we were sitting in the theater, I thought people probably thought they were in the wrong theater because it starts off in. I don't know if they're speaking Mandarin or if they're speaking Chinese, but it starts off, with him, and he's over 1,000 years old. Because at the end, when they look at the rings, and Shang-Chi said, well, my father said he's had it for over 1,000 years, but they said the rings are older than that. So I mean, the father himself is ancient.
No. I don't think so. I think they got passed around. I think maybe the father might be.
No. Well, no, I think the dad had them because look at the time frame he was fighting in. That was hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
Yes.
Right. I'm not saying the father wasn't.
He was fighting that army, Drew.
No,
I mean that was some hot mess right there.
No, I think the father's old. Don't get me wrong. I think he's at least 1,000 so on years old.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think he originated the rings though. So,
well, they said that in the movie he didn't originate the rings. That's why Banner said these rings were older than when your father. So someone else had these rings before your father.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
So most people think that. Well, go on. I won't. Just remind me to tell me about the signal. But go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So we don't get off topic, which we already are.
Okay, this is the thing. They explain the history of Shang-Chi's father. They explain the rings. He wanted to find quote unquote an eternal city that.
What was how you say it? What was it? What's the place called? Talao. That's where it was. Mm-hmm. So after his father has basically conquered everything in his 1,000 years of whatever, he's beaten every army, he's got all the money, all this, and he still wanted more, but there's nothing else for him to conquer, and he finds out about this place called Talao, and he ends up going there. Well, when he gets there, he gets to this bamboo forest, which we later learn on it's a bamboo maze, and he's alive. And he gets in there, and the bamboo maid starts doing his thing, and he ends up losing his crew, but he ends up walking through the forest, and this is where he meets Shang-Chi's mother. And she's kind of just standing there, badass in her, green little outfit. Wow. And he's talking to her. She ain't saying shit. And I'm
now
you can kind of just. You can kind of
saying anything.
Not saying anything. Anyway.
She was kicking his butt, though.
Yeah, she was kicking his butt. And she beat him. And she beat him.
More than once.
Easily.
More than once. She beat him without even breaking a sweat.
Didn't break a sweat.
Yeah, didn't even break a sweat. And that was kind of where their romance began. From what we learned, he comes back time and time again. and they meet each other, and finally she decides to leave Talal because they claim that they kicked her out. That's what we hear in the beginning, that she was kicked out.
Well, he says that they kicked her out.
That they kicked her out.
Right.
But I don't know if he knew the true story of what really happened. I think the mom just said, "Hey, they kicked me out." I don't think he didn't tell her just to not make him upset, because God knows what he would have done. But yeah, so they go back, and he settles down. He has a family. He takes off the 10 rings, and he has a son and he has a daughter. Well,
but it doesn't stop his criminal enterprise.
I think he does
stop his criminal enterprise. He does stop it when he.
I think he goes legit.
He legit quit. What made him go back into it?
Because they killed his wife.
Because they killed the wife.
But I thought he was doing stuff because they said we're here because of him.
Because of his past. That's what they said. Because of everything he did in his past. Now it's come back to bite him in the butt.
Mm-hmm. And let me tell you something. He put them 10 rings on and got his revenge real hard.
Mm-hmm. So and we're kind of going to go in order, given in the movie it was kind of broken up, but we'll just go in order, kind of just explain how everything goes down. But so he ends up having, he has a son, which is Shang-Chi, and then he has a sister, and I guess he went away. We don't know where exactly he went.
He went on some business trip because Shang-Chi saw the whole thing because she sent them away. She beat the crap out of all of them.
She beat the crap out of I don't know if she got hurt or they killed. No, obviously some of them got away because that's the whole. So some of them get away.
Some of them got away, but you see that field. She took them out hard.
Yeah. So his dad had left to wherever he went to, and the mom was kind of teaching them. Was teaching them. I forget the name of the martial art she was teaching them, but she was teaching them, and then she realized that these people are there, and she sends Shang-Chi and his sister away.
Right.
And he was like, and Shang-Chi knew she had powers before, because he says to her mom, "You don't have your powers anymore," and she's like,
"You know what? That's what threw me off." Mm-hmm. So is her powers connected to Lao? Or?
Me and Drew were talking. I think her powers are connected to Lao. I think that's where her powers come from, because it seems like if you're outside of it, you don't have the abilities, because they might get their, as you say, their chi might come from the earth, and then because a lot of what they were doing was as a lot of like earth bending. They can control nature and everything around it. So I think her abilities came from there. Now, obviously, sends them away. She ends up fighting them. They end up killing her. Dad comes back. She's dead. And now, and then he's like, she made me put these away, and I should have never put these rings away. And he says to Shang-Chi, he's like, "You're gonna help me." He's like, what did he say? He said it was blood for blood.
Right. Because he wanted Shang-Chi to kill the person.
Well, you're getting ahead of yourself.
Okay.
He wanted him to go with him so he could show him and see what he could do.
So he ends up taking him to wherever this place is.
Right. And mind you, he starts training him to do that.
Yeah.
And all forms of martial arts too.
Right. Everything. Yeah.
Everything.
Except for the sister, who reminds him too much of his
wife.
The
mother.
Well, he also didn't think girls could do that.
Yeah.
I don't know why his wife did, but he didn't think girls could do that. Could handle it.
There was no girl. It might have been a protection thing too. He didn't want her to get hurt. Who knows? But he ends up training, Shang-Chi, but they end up going to this brothel or wherever they're at. And
you're right, because he says to the sister, "I couldn't look at you because every time I looked at you, I saw your mother."
And so he ends up taking him to this place, and there's a bunch of men sitting around. And his dad just lets loose the rings, and the son's just sitting there, kind of like
nasty.
Yeah. He lets out, He lets out, and he goes up to Shang-Chi. He's like, "Are you gonna help me find your mother's killer?" And Shang-Chi don't really know what to say, but yes, because like, look what your dad did. You gonna say no?
His father with the 10 rings smashed him by the guy's face in
front of him. Like, you gonna say no?
And then he's gonna after he done killed him. Hey, you gonna help me find your mother's killer? And you see the guy's face all over the floor. I mean, it's not like you're gonna go, no, Dad, I don't think so.
I don't feel like it today. No.
Yeah, he is. He probably had the option. He thought he had an option, but she was like,
"Oh, I don't have to go.
Yeah.
I ain't gotta go."
So,
cool.
You know, because my first thought is, why is he taking me along? I mean, you look
like why would you bring? I don't know why he brought him with him to see all of this.
Right, because I'm like,
because he wants him to be part of his little gang, part of his group.
Yeah, but I would have went up to him and was like, "Why'd you bring me? You look like you got this handle."
Oh no, you don't have.
I mean, you don't need me to come. I mean, I could be home in the mansion, you know, eating some noodles or something.
I can be back home eating some ramen. You got me up here.
Ramen noodles and fried chicken. You don't need to see me. Come back
all these people, like I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. But I mean, at the end of the day, like you can't say no to him. It's like you say no, your face gonna be in the ground with the rest of them.
I tell you, Daddy was
you just don't wake up.
Man. Daddy was a bad man,
and Daddy was about his respect, and he was about his power. And obviously, he a little cuckoo too. But over
hitman after his own children.
Yeah, he ain't care if they died neither, but he did. Well, we'll get to that part. But
okay, yeah, you're right.
So and it says in the movie. So basically, after the mother dies, the father changed, and they both said their dad changed because then he started training him, and he was going through some brutal training. Like he was doing the whole wall punch thing.
Seriously brutal training.
Yeah, and if he even failed, because there's a scene where one of them end up the guy here in the picture with the mask on ends up scratching his face and draws blood, and the dad just walks off like he's disappointed. He's just like he was disappointed, and like he just went through some brutal training, like brutal training, and you know, for a young kid that's traumatizing, but obviously it didn't traumatize him a lot, thank God. But still,
it traumatized him a lot that he was a parking attendant, though.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to live a normal life. He thought. Now Aquafina made fun of it too, but it ends up going. Was it like 20 years later or whatever, or 10 years later? Sorry, 10 years later.
Now listen, martial artists on this that overhear this show. Just because you become like a 10th Dan, that does not mean you go and become a parking attendant. There's nothing wrong with it, but
I think he's also a parking attendant because it paid cash and he could hide out.
Right. He wanted to be under the radar. So, on one of the days he's supposed to go do this mission, basically to kill the guy who sent the people to kill his mother, and his father sends him to go do it. And his sister said to him, she's like, "Don't leave me." And he's like, "I'll be back in 3 days." She's like, "Don't leave me." And 3 days, as the sister said, turned into 3 days, turned into a week, turned into a month, turned into 6 years. And that whole time, he's been living in California as a parking attendant with his best friend Aquafina. Or sorry, her name's Katie or Kathy or whatever her name is. And they're parking attendants. This is his best friend. Like they do everything together. They just don't. What was it? They love karaoke. That was their thing. Our favorite thing was karaoke
and getting drunk.
Getting drunk and doing karaoke.
I thought it was going to be now that I thought it was going to be a love story.
Yeah,
I'm kind of glad it wasn't because I think she loses her specialness by doing that.
Yeah, no, it was best that they're just best friends. Like that's it.
Down the road they can, but not right now. No. It's like Iron Man. Iron Man didn't fall in love with Pepper right away.
Yeah. So, and from the get-go, Like they put her off. It's crazy. So they're parking attendants, and one of these cars come in, and the guy throws the key to Shang-Chi, and she's like, "Oh, let me drive." And he's like, "No, like we can't lose our job. She's like, "Oh, we'll be fine. Like, when have I ever?" And they get in the car, and they're just like going 100 miles an hour down in Los Angeles.
She's going 100 miles down.
Just going crazy, and he's just sitting there like,
"What?
What in the hell?" And so anyway, so they end up it kind of like, I can't remember what happens like there between, wasn't that important, but anyway, so the next day
they do karaoke, they get drunk,
right. The next day,
the next day,
right. Next day comes
around.
Don't they sit with a friend and the friend says, "You guys are making fun of me."
They end up going out to the bar, right? They go out to the bar, and the friends like they're saying, "Oh yeah, she used to be crazy with us, and now she's just all boring." And then she's like, "Well, I grew up." She's like, "I grew up," and they were like, "Oh, what are you trying to?" They're like, "What are you trying to say?" So anyway, that's when they leave. They go do karaoke, and then the next morning comes around, and Shang-Chi shows up at her house, and I guess they have like maybe a store downstairs. A lot of places in Los Angeles, like, you know, they live above where your store is. Yeah, because she has like 2 brothers, and the mom's like, "Go help your father open the store," and they were like, "Well, we don't want to."
When you guys gonna get married? When you guys gonna get married?
Yeah, and then Shang-Chi's like, "Oh, I'll go do it." Like, they're like, "Really, dude?" Like, so like the grandmother speaking Mandarin, and it's like, you know, they want Kathy to go find a better job. Like, you're gonna be a parking attendant all your life. And the brother's like, "Sis, I'm proud of you. I want to be you when you grow up." You want to be a parking attendant.
There's nothing wrong being a parking attendant, especially if you have
if you're parking like celebrity cars, you know the tip you get at the end of the day, probably for after that, like you can make probably $200-300 in a day. So I ain't mad at you. So anyway, so they end up leaving, and they're on the bus, and this guy comes up to Shang-Chi, and he's like, "I want your necklace." He's like, "Well, no, you can't have my necklace." He's like, "Where are you?" And he was like, and then like you see more people stand up, and you're like, "Okay."
They're trying to be a distraction.
Yeah, Awkwafina's like, "What are you doing? Like, why? Leave him alone." And then
that's the part we missed, because when they met in high school, he was getting ready to get fight in school. And Awkwafina
came out and started singing.
Mm-hmm.
She said she started singing whatever song was. She's like, I started singing. That's how you
Welcome to the Hotel California.
Mm-hmm.
Such a lovely place.
So the whole fight scene starts out on the bus.
Lovely face.
Oh my God, that fight scene is awesome. That
was an intense fight scene, especially with all them people. Not only are you fighting people on the bus, but you're trying to avoid hitting the pedestrians.
Because it's a complex, a small quarter, and you're fighting up, and
awesome.
And then you're trying not to lose your necklace at the same time. Oh,
and you're trying to die in a car accident. So
I missed a part. So there's a scene where it flashes back to
there you go, baby. There you go. Sing it, baby. Sing it.
There's a scene where it flashes back to Shang-Chi and his mom's doing paper origami with a dragon on it. And the scene goes back, and he's looking at a letter, like he got a letter in the mail and has a dragon on it. And you don't really know at that time who sent the letter. And then he reveals right. So at the time you don't really know who sends the letter. So he thinks that his sister sent the letter. So the whole fight scene breaks out on the bus. They end up taking his necklace, which his mother gave him when they were children. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I have to go find my sister. And Kathy's like, "What the hell just happened?" She's like, "Who the hell are you?" Like,
what sister?
Like, and he's like, "I can't explain her now." She's like, "You need to explain me." She's like, "I've known you for 10 plus years, and I've never seen you do that before." And he's just like,
"I want to say he's just trying to cut up our bus."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, she's
kind of did cut up the bus.
Yeah, but he did. Yeah, they chopped the bus in half. So, so like they end up going back to his house. He's like, and she's like, "I'm coming with you." She's like, "I don't care. I'm coming with you." Where did they end up going? Did they say where they went?
Yes. They went to it's not Madripoor, but it's like a city in Madripoor.
Right. Into a fighting club building.
So they get here.
Sister owns.
Yeah, so they think the sister owns. They don't know the sister owns it yet. But the address on the letter brought them here. So they end up getting in this elevator, and this guy's like, sign this contract or sign this thing in order to get in. They're like, okay,
right.
So they sign the paper. He gets in. They go in there. They meet this guy here in the middle.
Oh, but wait, you did miss a part.
What?
While he's fighting on the bus, there's a guy on the bus who's literally recording
everything. Oh my god,
going viral live. So his nickname
was
it Bus Boy?
Bus Boy.
Right.
Bus Boy. The guy that's recording it is the same guy that was recording Spider-Man and the first Spider-Man.
Was it really?
Yeah, it's confirmed that was the same guy.
Oh wow!
Not just the actor, but the character was the same character. He's the one that said was doing a hot dog stand, and he goes, "Hey, Spider-Man, do a backflip," and he does a backflip and he records it. That's the same guy and the same character.
Oh wow!
It's the same actor.
Same actor, same character. Most importantly, same character. So somehow he ended up on a bus in San Francisco recording this guy, which means you're going to be seeing him again somewhere else.
Probably. So, because they gave him a name in the credits, you see his name's in the credits, so he's there. So they end up here. This is kind of like a fight club, like fight night. And when they get in there, he's like, "Oh, well, like you're the act of the night." Because when they're going through, you see all these other people in these little cages fighting, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna call her Aquafina." Sorry, I cannot call her Kathy. Her name was so stupid in this movie. Aquafina.
Jesus, really?
I didn't like her name. I'm like, you know what? It just didn't fit her.
She didn't look like a Kathy. She
didn't look like a Kathy. Like, no. So I'm calling her Aquafina. That is her real name. But anyway, so he's like, "Oh, he's doing like one of these little cage fights." He's like, no, you're doing like one of the big fights. And I get into this room. Now this is gonna be the off-topic part because they get into the room and you see Abomination. And then you see Wong.
Yeah.
Now, this is where I'm like, okay, what the heck is going on? So you telling me
Abomination really freaking that got me going.
Like, okay, the Abomination part, I'm like, okay, but the Wong part is what got me. Because Wong is supposed to be protecting the Sanctum, but you out here doing fight night.
Because he needs the money. Well, the funny part is he's calling him.
Hold on, for what?
But the funny part is he's calling him Emil. Like, that hurt. Like, it's obviously they're fake. But he needs money. He's got his job doesn't pay him. They don't pay him at. You think Dr. Strange pays him?
That's right. Because you know what? In Infinity War,
he's like, I could do with a tuna mill.
Never has any money.
Right. So they go ahead and fight for money.
But here's my thing: like, you just up and leave, like Doctor Strange ain't asking where you going. Like, you just up and gone. Like, and then you just do your little thing. You just do a little hand thing, and then you back in the Sanctum.
Yep.
I think that's the coolest thing ever.
And then you brought Abomination with you, which raises the question. So, Drew, we talked about this before.
Yes.
Last we heard, now this is after the Hulk movie. Last we heard, Abomination was locked up in Alaska somewhere in the facility, and now
on the vault, wasn't he?
He was somewhere. I don't know. All we know is that he was locked up. But now you're telling me he just walking around New York City with Wong.
Well, Wong can get him out of anywhere he's at.
Yeah, I mean, they can go go anywhere they want.
He can get him out wherever he's at.
It seemed like Abomination's a good guy. I'm not saying he's a good guy, but like he's not angry and just like you know what I'm saying? Like
he probably getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. That's why.
Probably getting paid.
Now I don't know. I don't know if he can control his changes, but he gotta get some money somewhere, honey.
I'm just saying the whole thing just seems so weird. Like, and then you're just like, Wong, like what the hell's Wong doing here? Like, it's just out of the ordinary. It's just weird.
Threw everybody out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah. So at first he thought he was gonna be fighting Abomination. And I'm like, oh no, you're fighting the next act. Well, the next act comes out and it's his sister.
His sister
kicked his behind.
Because he's trying to talk to her.
Well, yeah, he wanted to talk to her. Yeah, he said he was gonna fight her anyway. He's like, I'm just trying to talk to you. Like, I just want to talk. And she just like beating her up, but she also had a grudge because he said he'd come back in 3 days and he never came back for her, and she was hurt by it.
Do a little She was a little hurt.
And she realized when he didn't come back after like 3 weeks that he wasn't coming back.
He wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
And at that point, she started training herself
But she was training herself. She was training herself when he was training. She
would watch. She'd watch their moves and she'd learn how to do their moves. But her thing was, I'm going to learn to do it better.
Yep.
And
I actually like that. Well, no, I'm skipping 2 ahead of time. Keep on going, boss lady.
So she ends up like beating him up, and then after she wins her fight, they go back into her office area, and he finds out, oh, like this place is yours. And he's like, well, you know, he starts telling her what happened. Like, you know, I got jumped on a bus. They took mom's necklace. And he's like, I think they're coming here next. And he's like, but I got your letter. And she's like, what letter? And he shows it. She's like, I didn't send you that. And as soon as that happened, the alarms start going off in the building. And you see all these people all these ducking. Fighters.
People running.
But he was fighting too. He was kicking their butt. And then he went up against the guy in the mat. I mean, he was kicking their butt.
Run, Joe.
And, well, him and his sister too.
Yeah, because they end up trying to get out, and he tells Awkwafina to go, but they end up ambushing her. So then he has to go back and go get her.
And the funniest part, though, is the beginning of that scene where they come in, and Awkwafina's counting this big old roll of money.
Mm-hmm.
You bet on me?
You bet
against me?
What?
I needed the money. Like, she's like, we need the money. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, I bet against you.
I would too, true. It was good.
Hold up. You got it. I can't go past it.
Just go.
Okay, so the fake Mandarin.
With
the little no face thing when he said, "Oh,
no,
I thought
it's
that was
Morris, I love him. You know, they made a plushie of him. I have to go see if Amazon has it.
Oh,
so I can
he goes, oh, you saw him? You can see him too.
Like, and look, it was funny as hell. He said, "Oh, I thought that was just a figment."
Like, I thought I was hallucinating.
You're right. I thought it was. Oh man, I was cracking up. I like that. I like that part. How they escape. How his sister went. There's a million tunnels here. You didn't know?
Oh my god.
You know,
they had the plushie on Amazon.
Oh god. You sure it's not the one from Beauty and the Beast?
No.
Lord Jesus. You know what? I also enjoyed was it Michelle Yeoh?
Oh, that's my girl. That's my girl. I'm sorry.
She was kicking.
That's my girl.
Mm-hmm.
There she is. Mm-hmm. She was kicking his butt.
Oh yeah. She was kicking his butt.
You know, she is truly, really a martial artist.
Yeah, she is.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I saw her in Crouching Tiger, Pissed Off Dragon. That's what the movie called. The movie
Crossing. Oh my God.
It's Crouching Tiger. We call it Crouching Tiger, Pissed Off Dragon, but basically it was Crouching Tiger, something dragon. I don't know. But basically it was a movie where
a lot more. A lot of these actors, when you look them up,
she's got a
Star Trek and all that other stuff now.
Yeah, a lot of these actors, when you look them up that were in Shang-Chi, a lot of them weren't. Oh, wait, what just happened? What are you doing?
That's wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was me. I'm sorry, it's my bad.
That's wrong.
I clicked by accident.
A lot of these actors that were in these movies, this was either their first movie altogether, or a lot of them they've only been in like Chinese or Japanese movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the fact.
Yeah, I know the sister was her first movie, right?
And it was his too. It was the guy that played Shang-Chi was his first.
That was his first too.
I don't know. He carried himself very well.
So you know what he used to do before he. So it's funny because it was I forget it was late night.
He threw a baseball in the in one of these games. Actually, he was at a baseball game throwing the first pitch. He actually did a backflip.
Mm-hmm. But I forget what late night talk show it was that he was on. But and you know what? I lied. Sorry. It wasn't his first movie. He was always extras in TV shows and stuff like that, but he was never like a full blown, because he said he used to do like, whenever you see them billboards with random people on it, that's the stuff he used to do. Like, that's what he did. And he happened to just post a funny post one day saying like, hey, when we doing this Shang-Chi movie, and tagging Marvel and all of it all the time. Until they say,
let's talk. Let's talk.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
until
he just
called him.
Yeah, hey, Disney, let's talk about this. Right after
they said just talk about like, he's kind of just making jokes like, and look where he is now. Yeah. So
I should, but Shang, if anybody's out there, they really should go see Shang-Chi.
Take it back.
It is a very nice movie, especially towards the end. Definitely watch the credits at the end.
Two scenes.
Credits.
Two scenes.
Even the second one I thought was kind of, it was great. I just thought it was kind of pointless. Like, there was no need for it, but.
Anyway, so the sister and the brother and the friend, they get into the car. They steal one of the cars, which is my guy with the left hand missing or right hand missing. They steal his car.
Way ahead.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So they end up fighting the whole little fight scene. Shang-Chi's about to like kill the guy with the mask on, and his dad shows up. Gotta go. I have to tweet out to Disney.
Getting the lead on the Latino superhero.
Hey, it
looks like do it, honey. Do it.
All it takes is
the money.
Really,
that's all it is.
So he's about to kill the one guy with the mask on, or face paint. I don't know what it is. Mask, face paint. I don't know. And his dad shows up, and his dad's like,
well, his dad hit him with the rings.
Well, he hit him to split him up, but yeah, he hit him with the ring in, and he's like, but like he basically was like, let's go home. Like, he ain't talking with you. He's just like, let's go home.
Literally, what are you gonna say?
Yeah, what are you gonna say?
Sorry.
And they go home, and they bring Awkwafina with them because she's kind of just stuck with them at this point. And they get to the house, and they're trying to figure out like, okay, what's going on? Like, why do you want us back? And they're sitting around dinner, and basically at this point, the dad has gone crazy. He's not gone crazy, but he's hearing things. But he's really hearing things though. But he thinks it's the mom. And he thinks that the mom is still alive and that her people have kidnapped her and have locked her behind this wall that is in Talao.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to go there and basically destroy Talao
to get her out
because she's calling him saying, help me, like, we'll be together soon, like, whatever. And they're like, you can't just go and do this like that. Like, they're basically calling him crazy. And he gets pissed and he was a little. He wasn't crazy though. He was really hearing the voice. Yeah, you can't deny that. He was really hearing something.
Yes.
Okay.
Really?
Yes, he really was.
He really was hearing something.
He really was.
And
but only he could hear it. Only
he was hearing it. So he ends up locking them up, and that's where we find out that our Mandarin is not dead. He's still alive. He is still pretty alive.
Because he used his name in the 10 rings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the Spider-Man 3, he ends up impersonating him as the Mandarin in the 10 rings. So they end up breaking him out of jail in the one spot. And you think they kill him because they said, oh, they want me. But obviously they have locked him up and have used him as basically their own amusement. As he said, he puts on shows 3 times a week.
You'll never see me coming.
You'll never see me coming. So yeah. So, and then that's where we meet Morris. I love Morris.
Lord.
He's so cute with his no face and his 6 legs.
It's like watching Wilson.
Because Wilson, really? It's like watching Wilson.
Wilson!
Well, he thought that Norris was his figment of his imagination. He thought Norris was fake, and Norris was real. They're like, "What is that?" He's like, "Oh, you can see that too." He's like, "I thought I was hallucinating." They're like, "Well, where's his face?" Like, "Oh, don't talk about that. He's sensitive about that." But it was cute. I loved it. Well, anyway, Norris says he knows how to get them to Talal without dying. And he's
because Morris comes from there.
He's from there, and they thought he said 96% sure he can get them without dying. He's like, no, 6%. He's like, I'm 6% sure I can get you there without dying. So anyway, they end up breaking out. They steal the guy, Drew, where you jumped ahead. They end up stealing short arm guy's car. And they end up getting.
Yeah, well, he has a blade coming out too.
He has a blade that can come out, but he can also detach it, I guess, and put a new one. So they see him like take it out and put in a different one. Mm-hmm. They take his car. They end up getting to the bamboo forest. They end up driving through the maze and ending up getting into Talal. And a lot of people, once they get in there, and I was with everybody else, all the creatures look like Pokemon.
Huh? Yeah, you can only go at a certain time. You can only go through the forest at a certain time.
Well, so the dad thought. Norris was like, no, you can just go whenever you want. Norris was like, you just have to know how to get through the maze. It was that they thought the dad only wanted to go the one time a year because it's a straight shot. You don't have to go do the twists and turns, which is what they did. They did twists and turns to get in.
Well, that forest will close it.
It closes in and it turns. It's a maze. Right,
and then when you get there, I mean, you got all these exotic animals and stuff like that.
They look like Pokemon.
Yes, they look like Pokemon.
Ew.
They were Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
They had nine tails.
They had those dragon shields, and
they had nine tails and Vulpix.
Where did they get those? Do their powers come from the dragon?
Oh yes. Remember, the mom said the power of the dragon is within you, to the sun. Mm-hmm. The dragon gives them that energy. However, the dragon was asleep. Wasn't the dragon asleep?
The dragon only wakes up when the dragon's needed.
Right. So the dragon was away. And they needed
at the bottom of the water, at the bottom of the lake, or wherever that was.
They were supposed to watch the door and make sure nothing got out of the door.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I
do like. Oh, I'll be getting a hit.
Just go.
Okay, I do like it when they was like, "Hey, the dragon, that dragon was breaking out. Hey, we need to work together, put the dragon in." And that guy with the one arm, I call him the one arm bandit. He was like, "No, we're not. We're going to."
You notice they do that a lot now in these movies. Because remember in the first Avengers movie where he was like, "Why do we gotta listen to you?" And the thing, and the Cap was fighting thing. He's like, "Okay, well, you go up to like, I gotta tell you twice. I gotta tell you twice."
So he's like, "No, we're going to kill you." And when he starts eating his men, and they save his little monkey butt.
They killed the guy with the mask face first, which is supposed to be their strongest ally. And they're like, once he was gone,
he was a pain in the ass. I'm glad he was gone. So once he was gone, like, okay, I work together.
Okay, we can work together. That's fine.
We're good. I wouldn't be jumping on top of a dragon. That wouldn't have been my day.
I wouldn't want to lose my soul to a flying mosquito, so I'll jump on a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing was, he didn't jump on the dragon. Remember, he was already in the water, and he ended up coming out with the dragon.
But with the bad dragon, he leaped from one dragon, from the good dragon, to the bad dragon.
Well, because he had to put the 10 rings in it.
You're right.
After the bad dragon killed his father.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't care. He was gonna kill his dad anyway.
Well, yeah, but the father gave Shang-Chi his rings, though. It's like, I'm going to die. I'm going to give you my rings. And
okay, that's the question I have.
Okay,
you was it the power of the dragon that stopped the rings? How did Shang-Chi take the rings from the father?
I think that the father released the rings to Shang-Chi before he died.
The father realized
before he died.
Well, at the very end, yes, but remember they were fighting and he took 5 of them.
Right. Remember, he got both of them back. He ended up getting them back.
Right. He was reflecting the rings, but when the father was going to die when that evil
Yeah, then
dragon
he gave
wrapped
him up.
him
Then he gave him
around.
up.
He
Yeah, 'cause then he
sent
goes
the
like this.
rings.
Yeah.
Right, he sent the rings to Shang-Chi.
Right, that part.
You
Yeah.
know, so you
But
know,
I'm saying
do,
like this part here. Hold on one second. I'll show you. Where'd it go? Whoa. Was it this part? No,
that wasn't it.
no, not that part.
What
this
are you
part.
talking about?
Shang-Chi had 5 of the rings.
Right.
How did he take the rings from him? Oh, I know.
Because, remember now, it's because he has the dragon.
Yeah.
And he had his powers like from his mother and stuff like that.
So then what you're saying is
he would just read it. He didn't take the rings. He would just redirect the rings. But I think
that's kind of why they showed the color change, because at that point he was in control of those 5 rings.
All right. But once the father got the evil dragon tail around him and killed him and sucked the life out of him, before he died, his father sent the rings to Shang-Chi.
I think the father gave it to him.
Now that's a love story, because this man was hearing voices from his dead wife, wound up being a dragon.
And the thing is, though, he didn't stop. Even though he saw these things flying out from above him, he still was like, I'm still opening this door.
Right. I'm still going.
And it was still calling to him.
My wife's spirit. Because he was trying to save his wife's spirit by this time.
I think he thought it was her. But for some reason they have her blocked behind this wall. And he's trying to take her out of the wall, hearing her say, "Oh, we'll be together." Oh,
right. I think he knew was it because he knew she was dead. I think he was trying to.
Once that dragon came out, he knew, this ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
I really think he was also trying to get save the spirit of his wife. You know, that'd be hard for me, especially after the battle and everything. That'd be hard to go back into the real world after you done hopped on a couple of dragons and got the ring.
Well, that's like the best part. Like they get back to after the whole fight thing. Like obviously, we skipped a lot. People just go watch the movie. It was a great movie.
But once that point, the guy that was like pestering Awkwafina the entire time she was there.
He died.
Yeah. He tells her what to do, and right after he tells her what to do, that thing takes him.
Right, takes his spirit out.
She's like, "I'm avenge you." But like she learned, like she was shooting, like she ended up saving him by saves the dragon by shooting. By shooting.
Well, she actually saves everybody.
Yeah. She saves everybody.
Yeah, Awkwafina actually saves everybody.
Yeah.
Well, what she does is she gives a moment for the good guys to win. So once she did that, then they were able to come back and win. Because the guy goes, that dragon, if he takes the power of that dragon, no one's going to stop him.
No one's going to be able to stop him. That's it.
So then they figured it out, and she hits him in the throat. Was it?
Yeah.
Because that's where he was getting the sucking the power. Yeah.
Right.
And that caused a pause, and then they took over and beat down started happening.
Like I said, I thought. To be honest with you, I thought this was a great movie. I would put it up, if it's something similar, it will be like Captain America Winter Soldier. That's the way
This movie, I can hands down say, like, once it's like on Disney Plus, I can watch this one constantly.
Right.
You can just keep playing in the background or just watching it. I can just watch it.
Yeah, I can watch this
in 45 days. It will be on Disney Plus.
Well, less than 45 days. It's supposed to be out in October.
Thank God there's not like a Snyder cut where, like I said today, I couldn't even watch the quote unquote Justice League that they actually put out in the theaters first. It was like,
I'm sorry.
Right. I was like, here's the Snyder cut. This is disgusting.
I'm sorry. Was there another Justice League? I only know the Snyder cut. I don't know of any other part. Do you?
No. Hey, people, Shang-Chi was funny. It had everything. It's got.
Please talk about 2 scenes. Talk about 2 scenes, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll do one. You can do the other one. The one that I want. Well, just one part I want to talk about. when they were talking about this rings are older than 1,000 years. They're much older. They're way older, and they're sending out a signal. Everyone thought, oh, it's the Celestials, a signal. I think the signal is not the Celestials. I think the signal is Galactus. I'm just saying.
You know what?
Right? Come on, man. I think one of the possibilities it could be Galactus.
You don't think it's the Celestials?
I don't think it's
or the Eternals. Well, more Eternals.
Nope.
And so you think it's a homing beacon?
I think one of Galactus's heralds obviously had it. Something happened to him. He must have died, and these guys picked it up and they started playing with it. And now there's the 10 rings. I think the beacon is for Galactus.
Yes, I can go with that.
What do you think, sis?
Yeah, I can go with that.
So they're talking in I assume Wong's area. They're talking to their friend.
They're in the sanctum.
They're talking to the friend in San Francisco and telling him everything. And then she's like, "You're just making fun of me. You just have to make up stories and blah 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 blah." Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, the opens up and Wong goes, "Shang-Chi."
Shang-Chi.
Here.
Like, here.
Come with me. Oh,
and
you two.
Bring her too.
And the friend's like, oh. So they proceeded to tell him the entire movie at dinner or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they thought he was just playing with her. So they're there and they're talking to Wong, and Captain Marvel is there.
Captain Marvel and Banner
and Bruce Banner was there.
Now I said to Drew, what the hell happened to Banner? Because he's not Hulk Banner now. He's just Banner.
Hulk, yeah.
But it's his hand's still messed up.
Right.
Yeah. His hand's gonna be, I think his arm is gonna be messed up permanently from that.
Yes.
I think it's permanently. And since that happened to him as Hulk, I think it's gonna be permanent. It's not gonna change. I think he's stuck like that. And then of course Captain Marvel, her hair looks different. But she goes, I don't recognize this at all. So this is before her and before wherever she is.
Well, I mean, obviously, but then again, there's nothing before her. Like, she's from the 90s. So, I mean, everything's going to be before her.
No, I agree. But she's not come across that in her travels.
Right.
I'll put it that
right,
way.
yeah.
And then Banner's like, oh, but I know it's old. Very, very old. Older than that. And it's got a beacon.
And Shang-Chi, and the reason why, and Wong said he knows it's older than 1,000 years because it's not in their textbooks.
I also think Wong also literally told them, it's almost like he almost initiated them into the superhero business. He almost told them that they were Avengers now. Literally.
Right, because Banner said, get used to your life being
totally different now.
This is it now. And he leaves. And a lot of people agree this is them officiating them as the Avengers.
Right. Yep.
So
I agree. So
and then the second cutscene is back to Shang-Chi's sister basically taking over the father's compound.
It's funny though, because Shang-Chi thinks she's shutting everything down, and she's not.
She's not, but he did say my sister went back home to take care of my father's estates.
Right.
So, you know.
So maybe he knew that.
Shut it down. She's shutting down his business, and she's like,
"Oh, she did. She just opened shut down her name.
Right?
She's opening hers.
Started on her own. So
you see the group out there practicing, and they're doing the moves, and half of the group is now girls. Mm-hmm. And then you see the outside's painted with stuff from her
with graffiti and yep.
Now I don't remember seeing it where, but during the scenes when they were in her club, mm-hmm. one of the girls or one of the fighters was a Black Widow.
All right, what do we have to say with 1 minute left?
1 minute left? Is there anything else to say?
I don't know.
Folks, like, subscribe, and please share with everybody else. All I can tell you with the minute left is